Aha, I think we is alive. Hey Demon, how you doing? Jolly good. Yes, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. He says, coughing. Everything is fine. Oh, just knackered. Played a game of hockey this morning. Very well. By the time we got there, it wasn't particularly early anymore, but I had to get up early this morning, which was not ideal on a weekend. But hey ho, got there in the end. But yeah, good final game before finishing for Christmas. It was good. Right. Okay. Working. Hey, NTFC. How you doing? How goes your Saturday? Oh, right. Uh, right. Discord, then we'll get going. Do some racing. Ah, beautiful. Oh no, you definitely join. I'll jump on Discord in a sec. I was just getting set up. If yeah, if if you're about in fancy, I was just gonna do some initially just do some AI runs in Abu Dhabi, seeing as that's where final race is tomorrow. If that sounds good, but yeah, I'll jump on Discord in a sec. The excitement is building for tomorrow. I know, and it like tomorrow's. Oh, I'll get the coughs out of the way now. Tomorrow's going to be a really good day for a number of reasons. One, because it's the final of the F1. Um, two, because myself and Millie and a group of friends are having a little Yule party, and we're dressing up as Vikings in some awesome Viking costumes that Millie's been making for us. And yeah, we're going to go and celebrate with them. Unfortunately, the Yule party is happening at the exact same time as the final Formula One is starting. So I'm hoping to maybe see the first lap, and then I'm gonna go. I just want to see what happens on the first lap, if they all get round cleanly on the first lap or not, which I'm hoping they do. And then I'm gonna mute all of the WhatsApp chats I'm in with friends that talk about F1. I'm gonna mute Discord. Not gonna look at that on my phone until I come back later that evening, and then watch the replay of it, and hopefully try and avoid spoilers. Excuse me. And just generally avoid my phone for it. But um, if only, unfortunately, I'm probably the only one there that's going to have any interest in it. So I don't want to be. But hey ho, got lines. I do have Lion Hearts actually. Um, in fact, I don't have the axe here, but I do have. Excuse me. I do have. He says, falling into the chair. I do have the drinking horn with the special belt buckle that Millie has made. So this will then sit off of my waist in perfect carrying position, and the axe will then sit on the other side with its buckle, which is going to be epic. So we'll post some pictures up in Discord tomorrow at some point, no doubt. Um, I might have to do it. Might have to get Millie to do it in case I accidentally see anything. posted about the F1 on my phone while I'm trying to do it. But yeah, tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow's going to be a fantastic race. Like to be fair, it is quite nice when it does make it all the way through to the end of the season, to the last race as well. And they're level on points. It's almost a shame that if both of them failed to score any points tomorrow, that it would be decided on the number of wins that they have, which technically I think Verstappen has 1 or 2 more wins this season than Hamilton in terms of race wins. To be fair, I don't know if they were tied on that. I don't know what metric they then. I'm sure there's some process they follow through. If it's not number of like wins, maybe it's number of pole positions or something like that, or number of pole positions, or who's finished highest up the grid on average more than anyone else. But it would be wins. But if they were level on wins, I don't know what metric it goes to next. Because if again, and I'm hoping it won't. They've kind of said that they don't want it to happen, in that if the two cars did collide and come off, and if then no one was penalised at that point, then yes, it would be Verstappen that would win based on his wins ahead. Although they've said they have said, or they've reminded the drivers for this weekend that not only do the stewards have the power to give out penalties for things like grid positions and time penalties, in rare circumstances, as governed by the sporting rules, the FIA, stewards are allowed to allocate penalties which deduct championship points. So I suspect that if either one of them deliberately drove the other off the track, the stewards would likely just give them a championship penalty and reduce their current point scores. So the one deemed not at fault would effectively win from that, and it wouldn't have to go to wins, which is good. Hey BR, by the way. How you doing? So yes, it's gonna be close. I hope that again it's brought out on track. I hope they don't necessarily one runs away. I've just seen the qualifying results. I need to watch qualifying later on. I'll watch the highlights of it later on, but it's going to be interesting. Verstappen on pole, Hamilton second, Norris third. So don't pull a demon. Exactly. No deliberately driving them off the track, unfortunately. Thoughts on Max being on different strategies as well? Excuse me. I think that I think Red Bull probably would have wanted Max to have had to been on the same strategy as Lewis or Mercedes at the start, in an ideal world. But apparently he locked up his, I think he locked up his medium compound tyre in Q2, so they decided to switch at that point anyway. So it will be interesting to see if, I mean, I guess from Max's perspective, someone's beeping outside. Who are you and what are you doing? Stop beeping. Right, now that's sorted. I think, I mean, the Red Bull car is quick, and they've shown that. But both unfortunate for Red Bull and for Mercedes, neither one of them have their number 2 driver directly behind them to, either offer some defensive driving or potentially offer some kind of tow at some point in the race strategically to help elevate their other driver. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be down to how well those tyres last in the first stint. If Verstappen can stay ahead and build a gap that's large enough to prevent a Mercedes pit strategy from working when Hamilton then comes in, likely later in the race, and see what happens there. So again, that not ideal for him, I guess, in Q2 when he flat spotted, but whether that prompted them. I mean, Red Bull have historically throughout the year often opted for a different strategy to Mercedes in Q2, which is the important tyre compound selection for what you start on in the race. So, and they've won more races than Verstappen's won more races than Lewis. Some will say that's partially down to that tyre strategy selection. Some will say down to the improvements Red Bull have managed to bring on in the year and other things impacting the races. But it certainly had some impact. Whether or not it's the right impact that they want for Abu Dhabi or not, who knows? We shall see. Much race. Much fame from the Well, we'll see. We'll see, Tom. Yeah, if he behaves. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if we get to a point in the race where, for whatever reason, whether it's a safety car or there's been a restart required, and Lewis is in front of Max. Realistically, at that point, based on how Lewis has defended from Max in the past and been able to also pull a gap out, and he's won lots of times at Abu Dhabi as well. Although I appreciate Max won last year. I suspect that in that scenario, if unless Red Bull have managed to somehow end up behind Hamilton and are on the quicker tyre, everything could go out the door then. Because for Max, if he's in second place, that's the championship lost. He can't, it's not going to matter what that happens for him. So whether or not he then goes a bit kind of, sees red and just decides, sod it, I'm just going to see what I can do, because if I get penalised at this point, then Lewis is still going to win, and at the moment he's winning. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see just if that element or that element of mentality, I don't know, comes through at any point because of what happens in the race, and yeah, leads us to a point where the only option is a difficult challenge for the lead. I mean, I remember, what was it? Is it 2016 when Nico Rosberg won his championship? Hamilton was in the lead. He was winning the race, but losing the championship because Nico was in second place, I think, behind him, and Hamilton was driving slowly to try and allow the traffic behind to catch up. I mean, there's an argument there as well that if Mercedes feel that they're under pressure and end up in a scenario where Lewis is out on older tyres and Red Bull are out behind them, Max is out behind them on quicker tyres, newer tyres, fresher tyres, and they've got the pace, then they may well try and go defensive and just try and, again, it'll be interesting to see, Bottas is starting from 6th. I think Perez is in 4th. It'll be interesting to see, whether or not team orders come into play and either one of those drivers are asked to effectively, help out their teammate ahead by either slowing up cars behind or pushing, do what they can to try and help. But again, those two drivers, again, two very good drivers, but in comparison to Max and Lewis, I mean, even just looking at lap times, they're driving in a class of their own. Realistically, they are out in front of everyone else. And whether or not Perez and Bottas even play a part of the race tomorrow in terms of helping to decide the championship standings for drivers, who knows? Of course, Mercedes also have to be a little bit careful. Excuse me, in some degree, because the potential of both their cars finishing outside the points or finishing lower down the field would also potentially see, and if Red Bull finish higher, we'll potentially see Red Bull then taking the Constructors' Championship. It's still not, Mercedes have the advantage going into this race, but it's still not outside the realms of possibility. So we shall see. We shall see. Starting on soft, even with the low tyre gate, he might have to do 2 stops. Yeah, and all sorts can happen at Abu Dhabi. It's not. They've changed the track this year. It's gonna be. It is faster, and that could have an impact on the projections for the tyre degradation as well, and change how that's all going to play a part of the race tomorrow. So of course you do, Thom. He's you've got to go for your fellow countryman. Twiggy 0026. No, I'm afraid we're on PC. We're on PC today for F1. We'll boot up the game and get back in. I'll hop into Discord. There he is. It'd be great to see Hamilton win for a new level of history. Great for Max to win. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's interesting. I also kind of hope to. I mean, it'd be great for Hamilton to win another World Championship. Again, as you say, it'd be a new point in history for the sport in terms of number of driver World Championships. But it would also potentially make the transition next year better for George Russell, because if Hamilton doesn't win an 8th this year, I think you'll probably find that Hamilton will still push quite hard next year with all the different rule changes and the car changes coming in, rather than I think what some people are kind of hoping for, which is that if Lewis does win an 8th championship, yeah, of course he's at the end of the day he's a racing driver, he wants to win and he wants to go out on a win, but I think the likelihood is that Lewis Hamilton could step back at the end of his contract in 2023, I think is when it goes out. Likely when Toto Wolff also steps down from Mercedes, if that correlates. But yeah, it could be quite a hard year for George at Mercedes to come into that team. And we know George is quick in the Mercedes from when he raced in it last year. But realistically, he's going to be the new driver for Mercedes that the team want to build up over the next 5 years plus, hopefully. And potentially having to compete with your teammate who's an 7-time world champion and lost out on potentially only a handful of points in the last race of the season, it could be incredibly difficult for him to make much of an impact next year. But that said, that's F1. Yes, it's 2 drivers as part of a team, but equally, there's two championships to win each year, the constructors and the drivers. So we'll see. Anyone talking about retiring after this season? So Kimi Räikkönen, he's off. It's his last season in Formula 1. He'll be out after this. He'll be the new Bottas while Hamilton is there. But yeah, hopefully again, depending on the outcome of tomorrow's race and what goes into next year, I think also from Lewis's standpoint, it might feel like a bit of unfinished business if he can't make that 8th World Championship. And to be fair, who knows what these new rules are going to do to the general performance of the teams next year. It could, Mercedes could be on a real back foot next year, with other teams being in a much more level pegging for pace and general speed. So there's a lot of talented drivers on the grid. I mean, look, Lando Norris in a McLaren is third, qualified third. Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Charles Leclerc have really come alive in the second half of the season with Ferrari. Alpine are looking really, really good. Ocon and Alonso are looking really competitive, and even Aston excuse me, even Aston Martin are looking like being able to offer a competitive package when things hook up correctly. So yeah, it really could go further away from Hamilton next year if he doesn't win an 8th tomorrow. And I think that will probably hurt George, certainly in the medium term, more than potentially an 8th World Championship for Hamilton if he's able to get it tomorrow, and potentially being able to step into more of a mentoring role with George, and potentially okay, well, even if he was to go ahead and win yet another drivers' championship the following year, again, we don't know, but it certainly would be in the team's best interests, I think, in terms of what they're planning, and certainly in George's. But at the end of the day, Perez, this is his first season with Red Bull. Max has been going from strength to strength each year with Red Bull since he joined, 4 or 5 years ago now? I remember. We'll have to wait and see what the race holds tomorrow. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. I'll jump in Discord. We'll boot up the game. We'll do some racing. There they are.
And it was hello.
Hello.
Ah, there he is.
There we go. Right, let's drop 2 chaps down there.
Right.
Let's boot up DF1.
Who remembers how to play this game?
Right foot down, left foot only ever sometimes down, turn wheel, win.
Right.
Yes?
Just me then.
I don't.
Oh yeah,
think
Demon.
operate-
Are you on
Yes?
keyboard or mouse? I forget.
controller.
Keyboard or mouse or controller. Right. Right trigger, sometimes left trigger, lots of analog stick. Profit.
Yep. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
And you want to be seeing wrong way, correct? That's the notification means you're doing
No.
things correctly.
Shall I face the window or shall I face the screen?
Yeah, ideally you don't want to see that. But you know, if you're feeling so inclined, then you know, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look. Let's get some.
Last time I played was. When was the last time you streamed this?
It's been, like I say, it's been a while since I've played. I've not played
About
in
4 weeks.
quite some time. I think it's longer for me now. But
So we're gonna be
But
seeing
hey-ho.
Rhino in front, Darker
Yeah,
somewhere in the middle to front, and then Demon
Yeah.
as his customary back.
it'll be fine.
Well, actually, based on last stream though, you did get 3 points.
Yeah,
didn't
that
you?
was a
Out of the
fluke.
finished 2
No.
races 3 times.
No, I don't
get
believe that.
better
No
Out of
flukes
the
here.
4.
I
It's
didn't
fine.
get better. I just haven't been given a cause to just go and destroy things yet.
Oh god. Right, let's check all the buttons out. Make sure we've got some semblance of stuff working.
Right, okay.
Okay.
That's the track.
The sweet
selection.
sounds of Rhino and Demon's voices, indeed. Here to help.
What sweet sound.
It'll be fine.
That sweet, sweet sound. All good.
Hello, friend. I see you over there.
Oh God, not again. I'm not ready for this. I've been playing against AI that have been quite well behaved.
Just consider me a rogue AI.
I don't wanna. I need to remember what buttons have mapped to what, because I'm pretty sure these are not necessarily the same way that I remember them.
Right?
That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it.
Manual collisions on, ghosting off. Okay.
Right, so sorry, ghosting's off, yeah?
Yeah, ghosting is off,
Good.
so Demon can do his thing.
We don't want Demon to do his thing. Just race, damn it! Just race the right way around! God damn it!
I will be as
That
well
looks fine.
behaved as possible.
That means nothing! God dang it! Oh dear. Did you say you've set up a lobby, BR?
Looks
Yes.
like he has.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Demon wants to play ball. Doesn't at the moment. Excuse me.
We're gonna do a nice casual race around Austria because that's Darkers.
Yep, that's true. I can probably do that.
We're then gonna showcase Jeddah,
Yep, lovely. And then Abu Dhabi.
then Abu Dhabi.